right, 3, 2, 1, go. Exciting. Splendid.
I think we're all pretty bummed out without the cube.
It's fine. Everyone wins. It's all great. So, start of Symphony of the Night. That's not Final Fantasy or Cube. You can see that I'm starting with this dude in blue. His name's Richter. He's like a really strong character. You're going to see a run of him later on. So this is the first fight with Dracula. It's actually not part of Symphony of the Night, technically. It's the last fight from the previous game, Round of Blood, and it's just a prologue fight. So what I'm doing is I'm using an ability called Hydrostorm by using like Y while having the Holy Water equipped. And what I'm going to do is have the Holy Cross, which I picked up, and then that just gives me more MP whenever we start the game proper. So there's like an opening cutscene, which we're going to skip there. And now we've got our main character, Alucard. So the big deal with the glitchless category, most of the time, you basically do insane glitches and out of bounds and things like that with Symphony of the Night. And we're not going to do any of that. We're going to play completely fair and legitimate, probably. So we start off with lots of really strong gear. The movement tech that we're doing is called shield dashing. All I'm doing is alternating between doing a backdash and opening my shield, and they cancel each other out, and that means that I can move pretty quickly. So in theory, I do want to kill like specific amounts of enemies at the start of the game, but it's not super important with the glitchless category. There isn't so much of an experience route as the other ones, because sometimes you're going to be avoiding enemies, sometimes you're going to be getting around them, sometimes you will actually hit them. But all being well, the third warg in this room I will level up off. There. So normally we would do a wonderful glitch with that warg, which allows us to keep our super powerful gear, our sword, our shield, our dragon helmet, and things like that. But this time we're actually going to play normally. So this is Death, and he steals all your super powerful gear. So I now have no shield, which means that I cannot shield dash anymore, so I have to just do really lame, just standard backdash.
You're one punch man. It's fine.
Exactly. But the really important thing to note is that Alucard's punch is actually really, really, really strong. So I can still like kill most enemies in 1 to 2 shots, which is nice. So the thing I'm going to pick up now is the Cube of Zoe. It's a relic in the game, and the whole point of that is whenever I break candles or sconces and things like that, I can get items from them. So mostly I'll be looking to get hearts. Small hearts give me 1, and big hearts give me 5, and that's like my sub-weapon ammo. So anytime I pick up a sub-weapon, lovely, I can use hearts, like expand hearts to get that. So there's a shield, which means I can now start moving fast again, which is lovely, lovely, lovely. So one of the first arbitrary things that we need to really be aware of is the first 8 minutes of the run. So there's a clock that opens and closes. It opens on even minutes in game time and closes on odd minutes in game time. And in Glitchless, you can get there before 8 minutes. It's really, really tough. You have to be really, really good. And I think realistically, the only runner who can get it with any consistency is Dr. Foregone Blitz himself, who has the world record for this, who is incredibly good at Glitchless. So anywhere near the 8 minute mark is pretty good. So here's the first boss, Slogar and Gaibon. So this is how we do it. Dude, spell. There it is. And there we go, so we got them back. So instead of being able to cheese them with like my really strong sword, I have to use like spells in this particular run. And I'm also damage boosting through enemies rather than just like slashing them with my sword, because it ends up being faster. So there's some pretty cool like battle tech and things like that you wouldn't see in other categories. So now we're just going to continue on through the castle quite normally. So again, the whole idea is like normally you would just like jump slash a lot of these enemies, so because that's not really viable, they're going to hit me if I just like stand in their face and try and punch them. So for the zombie men there, you want to like duck. For the axe armors, it's not really too much of a problem. And then the next thing I want to be considering is my heart count, because I'm going to be using my sub-weapon a lot to do damage to the enemies. So again, another thing that you're not going to see too much in other runs is a lot of like heart farming. So all these candles that I'm breaking now are purely to get hearts. So these are fleamen. They're awful. They are completely random. I can't manipulate them, and they do not tons of damage, but they do enough to make things go pretty badly for you. So this is the clock there. You can see that it's open right now, and it just closes there whenever the woman Maria goes out. So this is where I need to get back to, ideally within 8 minutes, if at all possible. So we'll see what happens there. So we're just continuing along, punching things. Pretty nice, pretty relaxed. I can kick things too. That's pretty nice. The kick does a bit more damage. It's pretty consistent to one shot. In this candle right now, I'm going to pick up the stopwatch. Stopwatch freezes everything, so all enemies on the screen, everything that's going on, and I'm going to use that for the next boss. So one of the beautiful programming insights of the game is that there are 2 bosses, and 2 bosses only, that can actually be frozen. I mean, they're really more mini-bosses than bosses, and it's a doppelganger of Alucard himself. So again, can't be killing these dudes, have to run over them. But here's a really cool thing. We get invincibility frames in Symphony of the Night when you use spells. Or I can just pass right through the enemies and things like that with that spell. But if I do this, then I can just pass through enemies while the spell's going off. So that's another thing that we're going to be abusing in the run to make sure that we can actually get places without getting too beat up. So these particular axe armors, they've got a lot more health, so it's actually going to be better for me to jump over them rather than killing them. And again, part of the run is knowing what to do, when to do it, how to go about it. Just going to pick up some more hearts here. And then we're on to the next boss. It's a very dramatic scene, heavily inspired by the Legacy of Kain series. So here we go. Stopwatch, up in X. Oh no! Dude, he's wrecking me! Okay, hang on. Let me line up. There we go. So that works out. So like I said, it's susceptible to the stopwatch. Another thing you're going to see me do is, like, I really want to just move as quickly as possible. So even if I'm going to be picking up a bunch of extra items, I'm going to do that if it's a quicker way to get through the room. So I might have terrible inventory management in the run, but it does not matter at all because the important thing is how fast can I move. These dudes do insane amounts of damage. They can do like 40 per shot. They would actually one-shot me if they hit me. There are Medusa heads here. Lovely little faces that kind of jump, fly up and down the screen. They could be pretty random again. You can't really predict them. Sometimes they will just hit you. So there's no way you can glitch at all here. Lovely, okay. Very normally walking through the door. Very important. And now we get the Soul of Wolf. So in Symphony of the Night, you get different relics. So the Cube of Zoe was one that let me pick up items from candles and stuff. And the Soul of the Wolf, as you may guess, allows me to turn into a wolf. So we're going to do that now. And that allows me to sequence break parts of the game. And my throat's gone crazy. Give me a second.
Need some water.
No, I'll be grand. So again, we're going to go through this normally. So there we go. Using the spells, the invincibility frame through the stone roses. So all the spells in Symphony of the Night are kind of like fighting game inputs, so like quarter circle forwards, half circle and things like that. And now we're going to turn into the wolf for the rest of this segment to get us into the clock tower. So this is all just down to good movement. So hopefully I can get all the way there without untransforming from the wolf. But we'll see what happens. It can be kind of tricky. Oh, dude, what was that?
That was wild.
It's fine. I'm going to turn back into the wolf. I just love the wolf. Okay, so this guy's going to make my life misery. There we go. Everything's fine. So unfortunately, I did use the stopwatch there. Not super hard to do accidentally, especially with finicky D-pad inputs. And then by turning into the wolf there, and then out of it I can dive kick, and that allows me to sequence break the clock tower and get through here.
Your throat okay?
It's absolutely fine, I don't know what's wrong, but it's fine.
Did you eat some Korean spicy noodles, or what just happened?
I'd say I had some really weird Swedish salt rock licorice thing, which might have
had the jungle roar.
It might have heavily affected my ability to use my voice. But it's okay. So we're in the Colosseum now, and that's what's important. So, oh, dude, what are you doing? Okay. So the next boss is really, really difficult. It's pretty much the hardest fight in Glitchless. So we'll see what happens. So at the minute I can manipulate all these Blade Masters to either jump over me or slide underneath me. Very nice movement stuff. So this will be fine. Right, I need to focus for this so that I don't die, because it'll be super bad if I do. I don't have a save file or anything if I die, so let's see what happens. Good. 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 Perfect. Okay. So that legitimately is a hard fight in Glitchless. So it's 100% abusing the fact that if I skip a cutscene for a fight, those particular enemies don't move at all, and Richter's supposed to be talking in the background during the cutscene, but because I skipped it, it still goes through that time where they don't move or anything. So I can just kind of like rock through there, and I can like punch Minotaur a bunch.
Are you sure you're okay?
Positive. Okay, so now I've got no mana, which is really bad, so I'm just going to top up my mana, because Dark Metamorphosis is the strongest spell in the video game. So save points, fill your mana, which is that blue bar at the top, and give you a full heal, which is my health on the left. So I want a Soul Steel to be able to get through these dudes. So let's do it again. There it is. Damage boost through that. Get some money. Library card out, and we're all good. That $1,000 is really, really important as well, because this shop requires me to get some really important things for the run. So here we go.
I'm interested in
Cellar Garnet. Jewel of Open lets me in the other places.
Thank you.
Library card allows me to teleport back to the library anytime I want. And the Iron Shield is the weapon that I'm going to be using, even though it's an armor piece, to cast a spell, which is going to allow me to do some serious damage to the enemies, because obviously we can't glitch any gear. Normally in 90% all bosses you'll get the Shield Rod spell, but you'll use the Alucard Shield rather than the Iron Shield, and it does like tons and tons, like hundreds of damage per frame. And is absolutely incredible and does huge damage output.
Getting you some water. I'll be right.
Thank you.
I'm getting too worried about this. Sorry, chat. I'll be back. Also, my hair is not green. It's turquoise. There is a difference. Washing it.
Alright, so that's another boss down.
It's gonna bug me forever.
Alright, it's fine. And 90% you get Buffalo Stars, that does a lot of damage. So I'm getting the Onyx here for money, using the mist thing that I got in the Colosseum. Then I get the Bat Relic, which allows me to turn the bat, and let's get back to the library. Now, a really important thing here is that you don't leave the library card on, because you can accidentally, when you don't want to, go back to the library. And there's nothing worse than getting like halfway through the next bit of the run. But thank you. And then having to come back to the library because you messed up. So now we're going to just move through the rest of the library. If I jump and attack with the wolf, I can get like another set of like invincibility frames and things. So the enemies aren't going to hit me, which is really nice, very important. Now there's a really cool way to get through this bit without getting hit by the dudes with swords here, but it's really hard, and I'm not going to do it, so let's just do it this way. It works fine.
Feeling better? Oh, you haven't drunk yet.
No, I haven't had any water yet. Let me do it when I'm in the elevator. Elevator break.
Let this be a reminder that you should always stay hydrated.
Indeed.
Look at all of you guys. I don't have green hair. Moving along.
It's super not green. So now, because I've got the bat, I can, in theory, just like use the bat and fly lots of places. But unfortunately, because I only have a certain amount of mana, I have to be careful with where I'm going to actually use the bat. So you can see how much mana it uses to just actually use the bat wing smash at all. So this is normally the point where if you've forgotten to put the shield rod back on, you're going to accidentally library card back to the library and have to go all the way back here again, and that super blows. It's just lame. So here you go in the clock tower. It's pretty nice.
No, this section is terrible.
No, it's really good.
Sure.
So there we go. So you can see my mana's already really low. So I'm just going to like normally go, what? Fine. I'll just go through the door. This is going to be like the most legit glitchless run ever. Okay, so here's the next boss. Garossaman. Very fun, fine
Good
boss.
job.
So using the shield and the weapon at the same time allows me to cast the shield rod spell. And that's what's sending the swords flying out at my enemies. Which is just doing tons of damage. It's really good. Let's continue with the game.
Drink some more water before you say anything.
Okay,
my dude.
I'm not going to get the leap stone. That gives me a double jump, which is super fly. So I can turn into the bat. Now another thing you're going to see is that I'm not going to like just infinitely chain wing smashes because I'm going to run out of mana and I can't afford to do that. So the technique you're now seeing is called bat kick. So I'm doing a dive kick into turning into the bat. And then again, when I transition into the bat, I can get invincibility frames and go through enemies. So it's all very cool, the things you can do. It also does damage. It's very, very cool. And when I do it in loading rooms like this, the CD rooms, it doesn't actually use up any mana, which is really nice. So again, one of the things you'll see a lot in the Glitchless run is going into save rooms, which you normally wouldn't do in other runs because you don't ever run out of mana. Because you just duplicate your mana the whole time. But in this one I do actually have to go into places to refill my mana quite a lot.
Nice, dive kick.
Very, very good. So the next bit, there's a really cool sequence break coming up. But it's super important that I don't run out of mana for it. So even though I can just like wing smash through these areas, I'm choosing not to. Because I need to conserve my mana. So I'm actually a little short right now, so I'm just going to leave it a little bit of time to make sure that I get through this alive. This music's gorgeous, you can enjoy it. Okay. I'm going to make really, really sure that I don't die, because I have died here before. That should be good. So it uses mana very little whenever I just move as the bat, but when I do wing smashes it uses up a ton. So let's do wing smash. No, this is a really cool bit. So I'm going to use the mana prism to abuse iframes because that spike would absolutely kill me. So I get the invincibility by mashing really quick, which allows me to get through that door by holding left and get the silver ring early without having to get like spike armor and stuff. And then by turning into the bat just by holding the transform button, like through the loading zone, I get through there and then miss through there, and then I only have to take 2 hits from these spikes, and it's really, really consistent. So that's one of like the biggest sequence breaks in the game, which is really, really good, and it makes a lot of this viable to be fast. So now we're going to go back to the Colosseum. So you saw earlier on after Minotaur and Werewolf, or before then, I unlocked this little room by like stepping on that platform. So that was really useful for letting me get through here. I'm pretty sure it was Dragon Blitz who figured out this particular sequence path, and it is much quicker than the other way we were doing. Another thing, make sure you've cut mana to get through with the mist, and then don't get hit by these guys. Just showing it off because it's really important.
So in short, don't do a Metako, and I guess don't get stuck in menus.
Oh yeah.
Like, who was that runner who did that? Who got lost when he opened up the menu?
Oh, Dragon Blitz? That's a thing. Menus are hard. But as a Japanese RPG runner, I suffer not from such qualms. So the next thing we're doing is we're just traversing. We're back in the clock room again, and we're going to go up here and we're going to pick up the gravity boot. That's just going to give me more moving options. So because we actually are like limited on mana and things like that, it's kind of important that I do get all these moving options. So even though we're still doing like effectively like the any % route technically in terms of how many bosses we fight, I still need to pick up a bunch of things that you would only get in the all bosses route just to make sure that I can like navigate rooms nicely. I want that. So basically the whole time like I'm looking to see, okay, where's my mana at? Okay, can I do a dive kick? Can I turn into bat? Am I going to run out of mana? Are there enemies around? Are things going to go badly? Am I going to drop into that pit there if things go wrong? So now, the Jewel of Open I got ages ago lets me go through this door, so it opens up all blue doors. There are a couple in the run, that's the only one we need. And then pick up the big heart there, because big hearts are awesome. And then that opens up the floor right here. And allows me to advance to the story.
Can I make a quick note of something?
Please do.
Old friend, old speedrunner of this game, Rom Scout, is in chat. What's up, Rom Scout?
Yo, how's it going?
Also, did you explain how shield rot works? I don't know if anybody understands what it does.
Yeah, so basically for this one, so depending on what shield you've got, you do a different spell. And how you cast a spell is you do like your attack button, which is on the Xbox controller square, plus the shield, which is in this case is going to be B, at the same time.
Did you realize what you just said?
X and B?
Xbox controller, square.
I did not say square.
You sure?
I'm sorry. It's the left
It's
and right
fine.
face buttons do things. Press them together at the same time. Watch, and you do the spell. Here it is. There you go. So that does the spell. Depending on the shield you've got will depend on what happens. So because I've got the iron shield on, it does the Sword Brothers or the sword spell, which is very powerful. I also picked up the Moonstone there. That's good for stuff. It gives me like stats and things like that. So you're going to see the Gravity Bat and the Gravity Boots in action now. So you can see just like how cool some of the movement tech in SoTN is. So even in the glitchless run, we can still do some pretty cool movement options and things. So Shield Rod does that. The Alucard Shield just does a spell. Whenever you touch an enemy with the shield, it does tons of damage. And if you do it with the Leather Shield, you get the Cow, which just gives you defense up, which is the best. Cow's the best. We used to use it to skip chapel back in the day. In all bosses. And better days, I would say. So I picked up the silver ring a while ago, and I just picked up the gold ring after after Succubus, the last boss, and that's going to allow me to open up a secret passageway in the clock tower. So let's go and do that now. So silver ring on, gold ring on. It doesn't matter which like slot you've got them on, and then that opens up this. So the clock shall strike 12, and then we'll get through the floor, which is really, really, it's cool. So this is like the intended way to advance through the story.
Is your throat better?
No, I don't know. I was fine right up until the run started. I think the expression we use is because SoTN.
That probably. I also wanted to mention that if you do like the soundtrack, I'll let you know that Michiru Yamane made the music for this game. I actually met her a couple of years ago. She was a guest at a Castlevania concert here in Sweden.
That's amazing.
She played on her, I don't know what that piano is called, you know, that beautiful, like, expensive piano.
Yes.
One of the songs in this game, I freaked out. It's one of the best shows I've ever been to. That was a cutscene.
It was. So after that, so I got the holy glasses. That's going to let me see Richter or something like that. I don't know. We'll find out in a bit. It's super important though because it allows me to advance the story. I also put on the Moonstone in place of one of the rings. So again, that's just for stats. And now we're going to go through the library and not get hit by that dude because he's bad.
Thank you. Someone in chat told me. Harpsichord.
Oh yes, of course. I was thinking of a Celeste, but it's absolutely not. Celeste is the thing used in Harry Potter.
But it was epic.
Yeah, so this is really important. Beautiful. Double front slide is essential in any run. Anytime you can do a front slide, you must do a front slide. And if you miss the front slide, you must go back and do that segment again. It's very important. So I'm quite pleased that I got that first time. That could have been quite bad. So now we're going to advance to the second castle. So the tech that I'm doing right now, it's like down, up, and then jump is the input to do the gravity boots. So that's like the blue swooshy thing. But I can also like turn into the bat at the end of that. Oh, that's fine. Completely deliberate. So here's the next boss. Wait, what am I doing? There we go. There it is. So, one Summon Spirit, one Soul Steel, and that kills Richter. So if I didn't have the Holy Glasses on, this would start the bad ending of the game, and it would just end there, and I wouldn't get the true ending. So I need to now go into the second castle. Now there's something I need you to remind me of, Ginny, and this is really, really important. Every boss that I beat in the second castle has a relic, and it's a part of Dracula's body. If I don't pick them all up, I can't beat the game. You don't pick them up in any other category other than glitchless. So if I forget them, tell me, because I forgot one of them in practice today, and I couldn't finish the run.
Do you have some time for some donations?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, we have an anonymous $10 donation. First of all, greetings from Germany. Now, I was about to donate for the Richter run, but it's already met. Knit Stories is fun too, so put my money towards that. We've got a few more.
Oh, yeah, rock away. So
Yeah.
there's a boss coming up. I'm going to beat it the way I beat every boss in the run. That's pretty much it.
We've got another anonymous $20 donation, Take My Money. We've got a further anonymous $10 donation. Don't forget relics. Also looking forward to commentary for the long library. Good luck and play well, Metako. Donation goes to Runner's Choice. We've got a $10 donation from Finrod C. Meta is my cube lord. Good luck with the run. Got to get up for cube in cube hours, but I want to watch this cubelicious run. Cube is my life right now.
You're welcome.
Speaking of Cube, where's Ethel at?
Where is Ethel? He
Where's
should be
Cube,
here.
man?
The man
Talking of
himself.
Runner's Choice, what is Runner's Choice for donation incentives?
Everything is going towards Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Thank you very much.
That room's really cool, by the way. So if you didn't see what I did there, go back and watch it. Because oh no, I need the holy water. Give me the holy water. It's really important. It hurts enemies big muchly. Okay.
Muchly.
It does tons of damage. It's amazing. But yeah, that room's really difficult to do without a stopwatch. I'm not going to say that like, oh wow, that was amazing, but it was actually really good. So, Dragon Helm gives me tons of armor. I don't need the Holy Glasses anymore. I've already been through the end. Now, I have very little mana, so I kind of have to do some like clunky movement to get through this bit. But it's fine. So, like, if I had more mana, I could get through it like more succinctly. But you work with what you've got. So let's go to your save point. Let's get some more mana. And then there's another boss coming up, and you're going to see just how powerful the Holy Water is. So in like all bosses, when you do this, it's really cool because there's some like really fancy like bat tech, and you can shoot like wing smash everywhere. But unfortunately, I don't have the option to do that in Glitchless, so I just kind of have to like do the first bit as Alucard and just jump about. Oh, dude, I got the dupe. That's beautiful. Dragon Blitz will be pleased that I got the skeleton dupe. So I just have to now like fly normally with the bat. It's not particularly exciting, and it can go quite bad actually, depending on what happens. So like the skulls can hit you if your movement's bad or your timing's off.
How much damage do they do?
Like 45. Everything does tons of damage, like even still, no matter what, right? Heart refresh. So heart refresh, as you might guess, refreshes my heart. So I have 13 or 18 now. It's really hard to tell. So I've now got 111, which means I can do more damage to the enemies. So here's the next boss. Creature. So again, just in between shield broadcasts using the holy water. Let's try a thing. I got it. That's beautiful. I shouldn't have done that, but that was too good to pass up.
I heard it, so I didn't say anything.
It was so good. Romska can explain to everyone what just happened in the run.
Yeah, I'm not wrong, but he's in chat, so I'll leave that to him.
Exactly. So again, this is a really sucky bit where I've got like not much mana. So instead of like chaining wing smashes like you would in all bosses, because you can just duplicate your mana prisms to keep refilling, I have to just like keep. That was an accident. That wasn't intentional. The other one was. Oh, that was beautiful.
Okay, you want to hear what Romska said?
What did he say?
He's DQ'd for speedrunning permanently.
Okay, so I can't even be held responsible for the second one. The fact that I wing smashed as Alucard was not my fault. That was the best thing that's ever happened.
Oh dear.
Speedrunning SoTN is fun for the whole family. So let's continue the game.
Family friendly speedrun.
That was just too perfect. Oh, this music is just stellar. Absolutely love it.
I heard this live.
Yeah, Lost Portrait is like stunning. A lot of the soundtrack is absolutely stunning. It is worth saying. Like there isn't a single track in Symphony of the Night that's not really good. Oh, here's a cool thing. This is a technique called double mist. If I double tap the mist function, it uses like no mana and also takes half the time to turn into mist. So, oh, I got too far. I hope I've picked up all the relics so far. Someone better be checking, because I'm sure not.
Wait, Talik's here too? I didn't see what he said.
Talik's in the same time as in that we're in right now, so it's like super early for him. But, so, next bit we're going to fight Death. I don't think I've got enough mana to get up here with Gravity Boot. Planned. Oh shit, it only takes 3. and then he's going to damage me, which is fine, and then we'll just back kick into there, and we're sorted. Not cool. Dude, Guy Bonds are douches. They really are. Okay, so here's the death fight. It can be kind of good, it can be kind of bad. It's not a great fight, and there's no good setup. Because he can go wherever he wants, and teleport and stuff. Well, he just moves really far. He does not have to go where you want him to in the slightest. So he's not going to go to the nearest platform for phase 2. And again, just like bunging holy water at him, because it does lots of damage. And then he'll die from this. There we go. And I need to pick up the relic. Have I got all the relics? I'm pretty sure I've picked them all up. I got the one from Creature. I got the one from Darkwing Bat. So there are only 2 more to get. Oh, there's really cool movement tech in this room if I get it, which I didn't. Oh, actually, I'm gonna show this. I'm gonna do it again just to show it off. See if I can get it. That's it. That's really, really nice.
That is being unique right now, but you.
Okay. But that's the all bosses movement tech for that bit. But in all bosses you have the stopwatch, which freezes all the enemies. I've got the holy water for this one, so to do it without the stopwatch with all the bats flying towards you can be kind of tricky, and it has to be really precise. So that's a cool thing to show off, I suppose, if you're into like fast stuff and whatever. So again, no mana, so I have to go back to shield dashing, which is cool. So let's refill some of that mana. Let's do that right now. I don't even have enough mana to cast Wing Smash. I have to shield dash into this room.
Would this be a good time to read some donations?
Please do.
We get an anonymous donation on $20 saying, because I didn't have my coffee yet, I forgot what I told Metako. I would donate 20 for him to do it. I'm sure he'll remember that. Good luck, dude.
It was a bad mix of everything. So we heard you, but it was low.
Yeah. I think I got an MP refill glitch as well, which is really nice. And also not intentional, but allowed. So for this category, even though it is the glitchless category, the only one that's technically allowed in the run is MP refill glitch. So sometimes if you get a level up or certain things happen, your mana will just instantly refill. And because we don't always control it, it is completely allowed. And I'm sure that I got a mana refill glitch, which is probably something that Talix mentioned in chat. Okay, so here we go. It's Ahmed time. He's a mummy, and he is super weak to holy water, so I don't even need to worry about casting the shield rod. Just gonna throw holy water on him. If he grabs me though, it's super bad news, so I want to keep my distance. There we go.
Good job.
And now we do the coolest movement in the game. So this is front slide. I mentioned it earlier on when I did the double. This is what you do when you defeat an enemy that has a hugely long dissolve animation. While you wait for the relic, which you're absolutely going to pick up. One more relic to go. So far, so good. Alright, so mana's okay. I'm going to wait for him to jump up. There we go. As long as I don't get walled, it should be fine. So... realistically... that dude wants his paycheck. Like, he was committed, so... Mana Prism here.
Ron Scott just said there better not be one more relic to go. Keep that in mind, I guess.
I don't know what he means. Which is not a good thing. But I'm sure it's fine. Like, what could possibly be wrong? I'm sure I've got all the relics. Maybe. I feel like a chump if I haven't. I've put a lot of effort into actually getting them all. So there are 2 bosses left. We're coming to the end of the run. It's really important that I have mana, because I usually run out of mana. I have very few hearts though, so that's not good. So I'm going to collect some hearts just for safety for the final fight, because I don't want to die. I've died to Dracula so many times, and it's not cool in Glitchless, and it's really lame. So I'm going to do all the save things. I've got tons of health. So I shouldn't even go to the save room, but in the interest of having a fair save marathon route and not dying at the final boss and not having a save at the final boss, let's just do things properly to make sure it goes well.
It's probably a good idea.
Yeah, so I'm going to get some hearts there. Some hearts here. One more set. Then we'll go into this room to the right. Save. Wait. Yes, I wish to save. Because you never save at the thing. I totally would have just refilled and not saved. I feel like I've saved. Right, okay, good. Now I can die to Dracula.
Oh boy, we started something. They're discussing whether what's a glitch and what's not a glitch, and it's quite the debate right now.
In Symphony of the Night, everything is fair. There are no glitches in Symphony of the Night. So here we go. We're in Drax Chamber. It's the end of the video game, which is really nice. And I've got more mana than I've ever had. And I've got 32 hearts. So we're set up better than I've ever been. So this is Shaft. This is like, I guess,
like the song.
Yeah.
About the dude. That's him.
Exactly.
Shaft.
Dude, would you die? Why won't you die? So this is the easy fight. I'm not supposed to be burning all my mana. Killing. Okay. So I'm going to have plenty of mana. It's fine. I've got 32 hearts. 123 health means I can take 2 hits from Dracula. I have a pot roast, which I could use to heal as well. I'll maybe do that. It'll be fine.
Daddy's home.
Daddy's home. We've come to roost.
He sits on a pretty big chair.
It's baller. Pot roast. Here we go. Okay, so I'm out of holy waters. How did that hit me, dude? Not cool, bro. That's gonna hit me as well. Okay. Please die. Yes, it's time. It's stuff. Yes. Video games. Splendid. So there you go. That's the glitchless run. There may have been 2 glitches in that run. No, there were 3. One of them was allowed. One of them was genuinely accidental, and the other one was Dragon Blitz accidental.
Dragon Blitz accidental.
So this can be submitted, and Talix Elliot can approve this run on SDA and SRL and Speedrun.com, because he clearly owns all the certain things. So there's like really cool credits, but I think we should probably quit out and let's do the Richter run. So
how do we reset the timer? Okay.
So basically, this is how it goes. So Epic Kai donated a bit earlier on, and he said he wanted a sub-6 run in Richter. So I've technically offhandedly agreed. What's going to happen? And I'm like mega underestimate, because that's fair. So I'm gonna do like a serious attempt where I genuinely try for PB attempt at Richter and see if I can get a sub-6 run, which would look really cool. And if I do die, which is super likely, then I'll do like a safer run where I pick up like health stuff and whatever. So
the no man run.
Exactly.
What in?
Like this. RICHTER. Are you changing the title as well? This is a professional stream. How long?
15?
No. Like I give 8 minutes is what I usually give for this. If it goes bad, 8 minutes is what it's going to be. But if 10's easier to write, then 10's great. I can definitely do it in 10. If you put 55, I could do the all bosses category. By the way, seeing as things are going on the screen, it is worth mentioning. So obviously the Richter run was met excellent. Thank you very much for donating and stuff. But more importantly than that, more important than Symphony of the Night, is the greatest Final Fantasy is still to come in the marathon, and that comes under the guise of Kingdom Hearts 2, which Ginny is going to be running very, very shortly. And I believe the Sephiroth is like 40 bucks away, which needs to be done. There's some singing that's going to happen. There's Super Mario Odyssey.
Yes. Oh, go ahead.
We get some donations here.
Go for it.
We got Johnny Wanlong with the $10 donation saying, I recognize a Northern Iron accent when I hear one. Can we get a yo, come on, to the boys, from the boys? From the runner?
Right, so Northern Iron. No, it's no. That is acceptable to say on the internet. So once you saw what yo, come on, the boys from the boys. But he wants me to speak with a Belfast accent rather than the normal accent where people can actually understand the words I'm saying. But that's not fair to the people of the internet because they've no idea what's going on right now. But there you go. Yes, I am from Northern Ireland. Congratulations on oral definition. Right, so I can't speak during this and do the run. So you can just watch and enjoy. And if it does die, then we'll go back and do the...
I can explain some things, but
Yeah.
did we have any more?
Are there more
Yeah,
monies?
there are more donations.
Oh,
We
go for
got a $20 donation from Anonymous saying, what are the runner's favorite toppings on a taco? Donations to runner's choice.
One of my favorite toppings on a taco.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, this is going to bring up, like... So... No, I can, like, TLDR, I've never eaten a taco in my life. But there's good reason for it. I promised Rom Scout that my first taco would be with him. So when I go to America, which is likely to be, like, next year sometime, Rom Scout, Epic Kai, and I are going for tacos. But I do like burritos, which is, like, something. Right, do we want to do the run, or... We can talk some more, I don't mind.
We got one more donation here
Go for
from
it.
the Cursed One. It's a $10 donation saying, Sup, Metako. Good luck with the added Richard one. Put my money towards Sephiroth fight in KH2.
Yes, do that.
Because we need more one-winged angel, by the way. Remember not to die in Richard due to the abysmal health pool.
Yeah.
Also, you had a
Thank
previous... Sorry for interrupting you. You had a previous donation had something for your choice.
Oh yeah. If the Sephiroth hasn't been met, it's going to Sephiroth. If Sephiroth has been met, then it's going to singing in Kingdom Hearts 2. Okay. Can you do the button for me, please?
Okay. I can
Right.
count you down. 3,
Okay.
2, 1, go. Okay.